I want to have some fun today. We've worked with thousands of members, hundreds of clients. We see what works in the crypto DeFi game and we see what doesn't. And I'm telling you now, simplicity wins every time. Accumulating valuable assets that have future potential and accumulating as much of it as you can for as long as you can, laddering out and using DeFi for cash flow to buy more of those assets, you literally cannot lose. And I can make that claim because think about this. I want to know in the comments the assets you see as valuable. I'm just going to use Bitcoin as an example because I do love Bitcoin. I do accumulate Bitcoin. I don't see a future where Bitcoin is not 250K. So if that's my thesis, and by the way, whatever asset that is for you, some top alts, maybe you're looking at XRP, maybe I'm not a fan of memes, but maybe you even have some fundamental knowledge of some communities and some memes built around these communities that you're like, hey, I simply want to own more of this. I want to own as much of this as I can. And again, I'm not the dude who's like, oh, you're wrong. You have to love Bitcoin or you have to love Ethereum. I'm extremely open-minded. In fact, anything anyone sends me, I'm like, hey, look at this. I'm open-minded to reviewing it and reading it. In fact, I think that's kind of what's wrong in the crypto space is everyone battles over what asset and what blockchain and what protocol is the right one. I'm just like, you guys are idiots. By the way, little side note, we've been working around the clock on building the DeFi tool that rules them all. Think every tool you've ever used from DeFi Llama to CoinMarketCap to other paid tools for liquidity providing, for simulating portfolios. We've been working around the clock to package that all up into one tool where you can spot opportunities, find awesome opportunities, see projections for your portfolio, both from a DeFi portfolio and your crypto buy and hold portfolio. And of course, within a few clicks, get all the data you need on what's going on in the markets and everything else. So we've been working around the clock to get this thing launched. If you're coming to our in-person event, you're going to see a lot of behind the scenes around this tool. DeFi and crypto has given me everything I've ever wanted in life, and I'm excited to create something that we can give back to the markets. And the best part about it is we're going to make it free. If you want more info or you want to see more content on the tool, do let me know in the comments below and I'll share updates as we keep developing this thing. Some really smart people behind the scenes developing this thing. But here's what I want to touch on. If we just look at the top 100 coins by market cap, and again, I may have a different perspective than you, but that doesn't make you wrong or me right, or you may have a different perspective than me. It doesn't make me wrong, you right. But I want to ask you the question, and again, let me know in the comments. What assets do you want to accumulate? For me, that's Bitcoin, that's ETH, that's XRP, that's Sol, that's Monero. Lately, I've been accumulating some coins on major dexes. We all know what happens to dex tokens in bull runs. But the majority of my holdings is in Bitcoin. Actually, about a month and a half ago, majority of my holdings were in ETH, but that's neither here nor there. Now, to me, the goal is to accumulate as much of it as I can. Now, I could on-ramp fiat from my bank account and keep dollar cost averaging, which isn't a bad strategy. But at some point, I was just like, well, I'm holding all this crypto. Could I cash flow the crypto and just keep buying more of it? And there's obviously many ways to do that. You could lend out the assets you want to hold on a platform like Aave, borrow against it, create cash flow with the borrowed capital, pay down your debt, or buy more assets and maintain a healthy loan to value ratio. If you want a specific video on that, do let me know in the comments. Or if you're starting with very little and you want to go the opposite direction, you could get into positions. 2 weeks ago, I got into 2 positions as a tutorial for YouTube. I'm still in those positions. It's about 2 weeks, earning me a consistent 60 to 120% on average. I've collected by now over $500 in fees. And we got multiple videos on this closer to the end of this video or in the description. I'm going to leave the 2 videos that you should check out. When we entered this, I did a tutorial and then I got a video where we collected some of these fees and I showed you how we did it. It is Saturday morning and I'll be collecting another $100 in fees here. And then over here on Aerodrome, it looks like I've got $114 worth of Aero. I'll be collecting that and $61 of fees. So again, another couple $100 on a Saturday morning. And then I can take that and guess what I converted it into? Assets I want to hold for the long term. Please let me know if this is landing. So again, let's just go back to our tool really quick here. I'm seeing a 5 or 6K Ethereum. Why wouldn't I want to accumulate as much of it as I can? I don't care about the short-term nodes. In fact, I love volatility because my DeFi portfolio prints during volatility. And I just ignore the bull run bags. I don't care. I'm holding until I hit different ladder out points. 100K for Bitcoin was my first ladder out point. Now, do I think it'll go higher? Yes. But I'm always locking in profit because if Bitcoin does drop because of unforeseen events, which we can't control, I can just buy up more of that Bitcoin at a discount. And again, whatever that may be for you, we're up 344% on XRP over the year. If you've been a holder of that, There's probably some really good ladder out points. Now, if you're saying, no, I see XRP as a $10 asset, awesome, but don't let greed get the best of you. Ladder out, and if XRP sees some volatility, you could always get into it. Now, if you're in positions on whatever DEX that may be, I could buy another $100 of XRP here and another $200 of XRP here. Now, this is what gets really interesting, because you could say, oh, I made 6 or 7% from my crypto portfolio this month. And this is where it gets really interesting. You could say, oh, you made 6 or 7%, yield farming or in your DeFi portfolio this month. But if I take that, let's just say you are, $100 in fees, and you take that and you buy an asset that triples over the next year, and you annualize your returns. And this is what drives me crazy, is people are still looking at this daily or weekly. I hear it all the time. I want to make this much per day. If you annualize your returns over a 4 or 5 year period of time, it is not that difficult to see 100% plus. That's more than 8 to 10% per month if you annualize it and you're reinvesting your profits into a growth portfolio. If you take your entire portfolio, these last 12 months, if you actually look at your returns overall, I can guarantee you there's almost no way it couldn't be in the triple digits. Now, if you're playing the short game and you're starting to trade, or you're clicking on a ton of buttons and you're always locking in a permanent loss, and you're always watching your bull run portfolio, and you're getting into risky assets and you're pulling all your money out and then putting it all in, all of those little micro decisions per day just increases the chances of human error, making the wrong judgment call, which you're inevitably going to make. I want to make things as hands-off and as passive as possible and have a strategy when I get in, not be creating a strategy the day of. When my emotions are high and the markets are panicking, I already have my plan laid out. And again, just zooming into our tool that we've been building, there are endless opportunities to earn really awesome yields on really solid assets, really solid pairs. There's a ton of stablecoin plays too if you're stacking profits, which I highly recommend. You get the point. So one last thing here. Remember too that there are cycles within the cycle. I'm going to be talking about this a lot. There are cycles within the cycles. And yes, there are 4-year cycles, but also within those 4 years, there's micro cycles where money flows from Bitcoin to ETH to large caps to triggering alt season. Screenshot this graph, and at the end of this video, I'm also going to give you a link to a video we've done about this, but screenshot this graph and study it. Probably one of the most important things you could understand, because it will shift the way you allocate your portfolio, and when you're taking profit from your DeFi, from your yield farming, you may allocate it differently. And some seasons you might be buying more Bitcoin, some seasons you're buying top alts, some seasons you're going down in market cap on alts. There's seasons within the seasons. There's always an opportunity. I don't care what market we're in, there's always an opportunity. Then just screenshot this quick and just ask yourself where we are. I'm not going to answer that for you. Ask yourself where we are in this cycle. Remember, anything can happen over the next couple days, over the next couple weeks. But if we look out over the next couple quarters, or even the next couple years, what assets do you see being worth more? And I'll say it this way then. I'll say it this way. Do you see crypto? Do you see DeFi? Do you see the space? Do you see market caps being bigger in 5 or 10 years than you do now? Real question. Think through this, because if the answer is no, your strategy is going to be very different than mine. But think through this. Do you see the crypto space, the DeFi space, the total market cap being bigger in 5 or 10 years than you do now? I am a 100% yes. I do not see a reality where crypto, where peer-to-peer transactions, where decentralized finance is not bigger. I literally cannot see a argument for it not to be. We could be in for choppy waters in seasons, but I don't see an argument for it. So if I know that, and if I want to place a bet on that, which, by the way, I did, and it gave me everything I ever wanted, and I'm still placing bets on it because my dreams and my ambitions, only grow. And money is a tool for creating some really, really awesome things in the world. And so I see multiple 8-figure portfolios that I could take profits from to launch ventures and launch things that are really, really important to me. Again, I see life as this big, beautiful game that we get to play. And so I'm happy to place that bet. And the short-term volatility and the short-term this and that doesn't bother me. Look at what the media does. It's always like the world is ending. But if you look at history, there's something that was always going on. In crypto DeFi, I see the same thing. It's like, oh my God, this is what the government is doing. Oh my God, this is regulation. I get it. If you're a trader, that becomes important to look at. I don't trade. I have a long-term outlook. I want to keep it as simple as possible because I know I'm not always going to make the right decision. So let me bet on a few assets. Let me understand where we are in the cycle. And let me make sure that I have a backup plan that if I'm wrong, I have stables sitting on the sidelines. I have sources of cash flow that can help me buy up more assets when they're on discount. And let me set myself up for those triple digits if annualized, if zoomed out far enough, and then build me a system for consistent profit taking so greed doesn't get the best of me and I don't sit there saying, maybe it'll be worth a little more. No, I have a plan, I'm sticking to it, and I'm locking in profit. I hope this message lands. In the comments, let me know what landed. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to post some videos here that are really going to serve you on some of the topics we talked about. Study this stuff. Take 30-40 minutes, hang on to this YouTube channel, and study some of these videos. With that said, I'm going to get out of here. Do let me know if you want more info on the tool we're building. It's very close to revealing and having some beta testers test it. So if you'd like to get early access and start testing some of this stuff, do let me know in the comments. With that said, I'm gonna get out of here. I'll see you soon. Peace.